Hello and welcome back. Today we're talking about a very specific ADHD thing that I think is actually beautiful. The superpowers that come from missing social cues and sometimes being a little oblivious. People might call it awkward, but in reality, it can make you one of the most genuine, kind, and unforgettable people in the room. So here we go. 10 superpowers, ADHD superpowers that come from missing social cues. Okay. Number one, I'm going to give it to you straight. Unfiltered authenticity. You speak and act from a genuine place, which is not constrained by worrying about how others might judge you. This is just the way that some of us have been wired. The superpower is that you speak from a genuine place. And this is kind of what we're looking for nowadays, right? Two, fearless vulnerability. You can share your true self openly, often inspiring others to do the same, often inspiring others to just share things that they would never have shared with somebody they just met. It would take them years. And why? It's because you don't dwell on social judgments. Three, immunity to gossip and drama. I like this one. Being oblivious to social politics means you don't get caught up in the rumors or negativity. Sometimes it could take you a few days to know that maybe the rumor was a little bit about you. It could take you weeks, months, or in my case, more than a decade. And I'll tell you later on why this is so good, especially when you're a teenager. Four, you focus on what truly matters. You intuitively prioritize meaningful connections and moments over superficial opinions or social pressure. And because of this, you tend to have your own style or no style at all, and you rock it. Five, fresh perspective. Missing typical social cues lets you see situations differently, sometimes spotting wisdom and kindness that others overlook. So if something is weird, odd, different, you might say, hey, that's interesting, rather than, oh, that's weird. Six, now, emotional resilience. This is different from rejection sensitivity, right? It's different because when you do spot something, it can hurt you. But because we're so good at missing social cues, or we can be, we tend to have more emotional resilience. Because you often don't register social rejection immediately, you have a unique ability to bounce back and keep going. By the time you've figured out that, oh man, something about you, you've already moved on. Maybe it's that kerfuffle that you had with your partner or a friend, and they're like, wait, you're over it already? It's just the next morning. You're like, yeah, I'm sorry. I truly am sorry. I've learned it stung. While they're still dwelling, and that's perfectly natural, you've moved on because you are emotionally resilient. Number seven, pure intentions. Your interactions are driven by sincerity rather than by trying to fit in, making your relationships deeply authentic. Number eight, creative social navigation. You learn to connect with others on your own terms, inventing new ways to build bonds beyond social rules. For example, you might share pizza down an alley somewhere in San Francisco. You might share a beer. Use shot glasses just to share that 7% alcoholic beer. Maybe you have some ways, right? You can share it with me in the comments. I would love to hear your stories. Now, Next one is focus on the presence. You focus on the present. You are oblivious. Obliviousness to distractions often makes you truly present with those who matter, giving them full attentions. And this comes from your ability to hyper focus. I noticed even that when I'm in Zoom meetings with one person, the ability to hyper focus and forget about everything else can really work there, especially sometimes you miss social cues, right? But when you're one on one, like on a computer, that's okay because, well, whatever's happening outside the computer, it's not going to really affect your relationship with them, with the person, whoever you're talking to on the computer, right? But when you do this in person in life, when you're having coffee and you hyper focus on them, it makes them feel, you know, like they're the only one in your world because, well, they are. And then finally, heartfelt surprise. You may realize social dynamics later, but this delayed awareness often leads to profound empathy and insight when you do reflect, which is what's kind of happening to me right now. This is the part that I really want you to hear. Missing some social cues is not a deficit. It's a different way of moving through the world, one that's full of sincerity, resilience, and originality. When I was in high school, I was 16 years old. I didn't want a sweet 16 party, not for me. I just wanted to travel. I wanted money so I can travel later on. But my mom still wanted me to have a birthday party. And so she hired a taqueria, two guys to serve tacos. It was very good. And she told me to invite all my friends from school. And at the time, I was hanging out at the V lockers. It's a place at school where there's like all the lockers are labeled A to Z. I hung out by the V lockers and we called each other the V crew. There was like 10 to 15 people that would just kind of come in and out throughout recess, throughout lunch. But I only had one best friend there. I just call her Nora. Okay, her name was Nora. So I invited them. I invited all of them. It was like 15 people that I invited. My mom also invited her friends. She wanted all of them to come. She wanted to show off. Now, here's the challenge. My gift card, my birthday card was very off-putting. I said no flowers, only gift cards. And I made a huge list of all the places where I would want a gift card. I said $20 minimum. I remember the list included Old Navy, Victoria's Secret, Macy's, I went all out. That was not received well. My mom kind of warned me a little bit. I think she should have warned me a little bit more. Out of all of my mom's friends, only one person came and she brought me flowers. And I literally said to her, but I said no flowers. And she said, calm down. Here's a gift card from Victoria's Secret. Okay, cool. Now, from my side of the friends, only one person came, Nora. And she was like, how come nobody else is here? I said, what do you mean nobody else is here? My cousins are here. My uncles and aunts are here. You're here. Everyone's here. I was happy. Over there, the guys who were serving tacos, they were like, how come nobody's here? They're like, who are we going to serve these tacos to? Like, what are you talking about? We've got plenty of people here. Got my family, got my friends. We had so much leftovers for the next week. The next Monday, I went to school. It was like nothing ever happened. It just did not register to me that my gift card was off putting and that maybe the people that I was hanging out with the whole time, they were more like just there in the background. Yeah, I can talk to them, a little bit, But my focus was always on Nora, on her AP classes, me trying to get into AP classes, whatever we had going on. It just didn't register to me until now, until this month when they came up with the idea to make this video. And yeah, it stunk. Okay. It stunk. It still stings a little bit, me being in my 30s, and it took a long time to realize. But I'm glad that I didn't know about it then. And there are many examples like this, okay? But I've always had friends. I've always had people who loved me inside my family, and even more so outside of my family, even though throughout my life I've missed social cues. So, what I want to tell you is that when you're a teenager, the last thing you want to be is even more insecure. So, I'm glad I missed that. And if you have ADHD and you recognize yourself in this list, just remember, look at it as a gift. Thank you for listening. And of course, for more content like this, help me grow this channel by liking, subscribing, and sharing what resonated the most with you today.